Today, we're talking with Yagub Rahimov, founder of Polygraph AI, about how we can use AI to grow safely and about his recent win for their best pitch at South by Southwest. Welcome to BeyondSaaS. I'm Jason Niedle, founder of Tethos. We're a growth agency, and for over the last 22 years, we've been accelerating tech company growth through strategy, branding, lead gen, and conversion. And today, I'm really excited to explore how to grow a tech company with Yagub. He is the founder and CEO of Polygraph AI, and they enable data-centric organizations to identify and mitigate emerging threats from data leaks, breaches, and fake or AI content, which seems like something all of us need these days. He's a really cool overlap between AI and data privacy. And apparently he's also got an amazing pitch because their pitch just won Best of Show at South by Southwest. So welcome, Yagub.
Yeah, thank you for having me here.
I do want to hear about the pitch, but before we get in, do you have a golden nugget for us today?
So what got me into entrepreneurial journey is a book by Ken Schooland, and it's called Jonathan Gillible, Adventures of Jonathan Gillible. If you are entering into entrepreneurial journey and you want to read the book for yourself, as well as you can read it to your 5-year-old, you got to get that book. And it's in every language.
Amazing. Say the name one more time.
Adventures of Jonathan Gillible by Ken Schooland.
Perfect. Thank you. I'm going to check that out. So tell me a little bit about this win.
It was very strange, right? We didn't really prepare for this at all. And at Polygraph, we have a rule per event. We only send one person and one person only. And they told us that we need to have two people in there to control the pitch. Like one person is running the slide, the other one is on the stage. So I asked a client of ours to get on the stage with me.
Wow.
to control my presentation. So really not prepared at all. Yeah, we even had a little bit of a glitch. I got like 26 seconds, if I remember the exact number. So I pitched it and left actually the whole event. I thought that we really messed it up. And then they give me a call, where are you? I'm like, well, I'm not there.
Wow. I left.
I left, and they keep on telling like, it's very important that you come here. And I'm like, why should I come? And they're like, just don't ask, come. That's the moment the token kind of dropped. Maybe we actually won. But the best part, like, here is something that I always tell. I actually just paid attention how you presented Polygraph, right? When we try to stick by a pitch, when we try to stick by a tagline or whatsoever, it becomes freakishly boring, right? Like, I really hope that I don't actually present Polygraph the way that we started it at the beginning. So that's the main difference that we brought on South by Southwest, where everybody was like to the line, they were like a machine gun, literally. And YC companies, Sequoia companies, and so on, like all well-backed companies. And then all of them with proper team representations. You could see that they are very well prepared. And then there is this guy coming on stage, and his assistant is his customer. And we just basically told what we are doing, like really to the point. That's what won us the South by. And not just the best in show, we won Best Enterprise, Smart Data, FinTech, and Future of Work Award as well. And
Wow.
yeah, it was fun.
So are you saying my summary was boring? And if so, what's the better summary?
So I would say that Polygraph is an agentic AI built for eliminating risk, fraud, and privacy issues of companies in any environment.
And what's your role there and what's your current focus?
I'm the founder and the CEO. I work for my team. That's what I say in general. I'm the one who comes with weird requests. They are the ones who are making it real. And I'm the UI UX on the front of everybody talking about what we do. In my previous life, I was fighting and eliminating financial fraud cases. In the current life, we are eliminating data risk issues, fraud issues, as well as, to a certain extent, playing a role to protect lives as well on the defense side.
To be clear, did you just classify yourself as your company's UI UX?
I am the company's UI UX.
That's pretty cool. I haven't heard people phrase it that way before.
Yeah, because you have only the founders are the front facing stuff, right? We are the front end, but I'm as good as my back end. My back end is my superpowers. My engineers, we have 9 engineers. 6 of them are PhDs in ML from VTech, UT Austin, and so on, and 3 of them are competitive hackers. So they are the massive force behind Polygraph, making and building unique content, unique software solutions that has never been built before. And whatever we do, we strive to be number one. We have a rule that if we are not number one in what we are doing, then we are the last one. There is no space for being the second.
What stage would you call yourself? Startup, mid stage? Where are you guys?
We are a startup. Polygraph only started in late March, April of 2023. We work with 38 enterprises. We have over 100, to be more precise, 114 pilots today. We have over 20,000 monthly active end users that's using Polygraph today. We launched the MVP on the 15th of October 2024. So it's only been done in like 4 months, give or take. So we are one of the fastest growing AI companies in the world, period. And we are not Gen AI company. That's the weird part, because everyone who is on the Gen AI doing some cool, weird stuff, creates text or whatever, they're of course attracting people. We are doing the boring stuff, protection, detection, elimination, and yet we are growing with it as well.
Wow. So you're in hyper growth right now. What do you wish other growth leaders knew about this phase?
Accepting that you don't know nothing. Like, you cannot literally presume that you know everything, but at the same time, don't take your eye off the ball. The second you let go for even one day, I work myself 18 hours a day, every day, including the weekends. The second you let your eye go off the ball, you're losing the control. Like, when you are growing hyper, stick by it. Don't let it go. Don't let it stick.
So that said, what's your growth goal for the next 12 months?
We are becoming a unicorn by the end of this year, perhaps even earlier.
I like it. It's not 500% growth or $3 million. It's unicorn.
Yeah.
What's your obstacle to that goal?
Let's just call it global instability. It's the thing that actually forces and drives us forward, but it's also the thing that stays in front of us. Like, we have a couple of really large deals that we have signed already. The budget is basically on freeze. Everything has been approved. We are just waiting for the budget to come.
That's an interesting place of tension in that the instability of all these things leads to security issues and risk factors that they're trying to mitigate. But at the same time, they don't want to spend the money to mitigate them because of the risk.
Absolutely. The instability pushes the demand for Polygraph, but it's also our enemy at the same time. We are in a unique environment. We don't really call ourselves B2B or B2G, as we are a B2P company. P stands for partners. Essentially speaking, that's how we have been growing crazily. So we will grow it nonetheless. But the question is, will it be at 200 miles an hour or will it be 175?
So that said, then how do you define an ideal customer profile?
We don't have one. Like, we have ideal partner profile, and that's a DLP, Secure Network Solution Provider. DLP stands for Data Loss Prevention. Cybersecurity providers or fraud detection providers that control 20% or more of the given industry that they operate in. So we embed Polygraph with them, and they are the ones who have the ideal customers that they have. Essentially speaking, we will work with any compliance department and any technical department or CTO's office of any company.
Wow. So how do you feel that top of funnel? How do people hear about you?
We are very, very selective when it comes to selecting and working with that partner. We only have 4 partners right now. We are not chasing dozens and dozens of partners. We want to basically select 4, 5, 6. Like, every 3 months, I want to double the number of partners. Last quarter, we were 2 partners. This quarter, we are already 4. Next quarter, it will be 8. And we're going on this direction, right? At least for the first 8 quarters. And those partners are the ones that are also on a growth mode. So we are essentially speaking putting double fuel onto the fire with them. They're growing with us. They're growing even faster. And basically, we are growing with them as well.
Are you growing them or are you protecting them from risk?
We are doing both. So we have partners that they were in stagnation mode, and with us, they're now projecting this year on 8 to 12% growth mode for the year. And this is not $1 million growth we are talking about. This is tens of billions of dollars.
How does that work? How do you come in as the quote unquote smaller startup and get these big companies growing? What's your magic?
We just went through a audit for our privacy detection solution. And that audit, will soon be announcing it publicly, the details as well. We outperformed Microsoft by 17%. Google by 6.4% and Amazon by 6.2% for privacy detection. Essentially speaking, by claiming that now we can say that we have outperformed everybody in the world.
Hmm.
And the major difference for it is that it's our technical approach for the things that we are looking at. So while everybody is looking at the technical PII detections or PPI, PHI, etc. detections from the side of semanticness, we are looking at things from context perspective. And we are using a very dedicated small language model that identifies privacy in a context perspective. Now, let me give you an example. You're speaking with the founder of the company, right? If you go ahead and say that in today's podcast, we spoke with the founder of the company and discussed about their growth and so on and so forth. There is no entity out there except Polygraph that would actually identify a personal identifier in here. The founder of a company is a identifier, right? Knowing that there is a founder of Polygraph is Yagub Rahimov, therefore it's a personal identifier. All other tools end up failing on that direction. Polygraph will identify it clearly.
So I want to make sure I have your funnel right, because I'm always thinking about sales funnels, and I'm thinking a customer usually finds their ideal customer profile, and then they usually send out 10 million pieces so they can get 10,000 replies, so they can get 100 customers, right? And you're saying, nope, only partners. I'm happy to start with 4 and then double that quarterly. And we're still the fastest growing AI company in that regard.
Like with one partner alone, we have in 6 weeks we have had $7.2 million in bookings. And that's an industry that it would have taken me just 3 years to say hello to those people. Forget about selling it to them. So that number is not fully realized yet. We are still working on it, right? And to basically make that deal with that partner, we said no to 3 of their competitors. Some of their competitors were much bigger than this one partner, by the way. But we still ended up saying no because we saw that this one partner would be dedicating team to sell Polygraph. It doesn't get better than that. You have a dedicated sales team inside a very large growing entity that would be basically cross-selling, overselling, upselling, whatever you want to call it, your solution. And they are not doing it for the money. They're doing it for the mission because they are actually seeing how we are coming and changing the game. We are protecting their customers from the threats that they couldn't be protected from previously. Like audio call centers as an example. We are detecting that the caller is the real, Jason or someone else, or Jason, but it's a deep fake of Jason in 5 to 15 seconds. Everything else out there, it requires 45 seconds to 1.5 minutes minimum data input. So we are fast, we are accurate, and we are small, meaning that we can actually be deployed in any environment. So a small language perspective, right? So from that perspective, it kind of is like a no-brainer for them to push us as well.
So probably every CEO listening wonders what your magic sauce is. Like, who are these partners and how do you find them? And you probably don't want to give up all the magic, but give the audience a little hint of how to execute on something like that in their own company.
So I'm known as Mr. Paranoid among my close friends. I am who I am. I don't try to be impersonating myself or anything else. We even have made like polygraph music using AI and stuff. Like if you sit in my car, I'm full polygraph. I don't really care about it. If I even take it here, there is polygraph underneath too. When you are 110% into the mission that you're going for, and your message is always the same in front of everybody. First, they ignore you, then they laugh at you, then they fight, then you win, right? So we've been ignored, we've been laughed at the beginning, we've been fought at, and now we are in the winning mode. So that's the one thing that I'm going forward. I really am in love with my partners. I cannot really put it more stronger than that because we are one-on-one, aligned with our mission. We are aligned on the mission and the vision that we are going forward.
So did I read correctly? You grew up in Azerbaijan?
I was born in there, correct?
What's one big impact that upbringing had on your entrepreneurial journey here?
In our neighborhood, bunch of kids got a bike. And I went to my dad and I asked my dad, I think I was 8 years old, that I want a bike too. He said, do you need it or do you want it? I said, I want it and cried myself off. A few months later, I got a bike, but I did not see my dad afterwards for a whole year. So he took another job, night shifts, to be able to afford that. And the worst part was that how I realized was 2 months after this, I actually lost my interest in the bike. I was looking for my dad, but I wasn't able to see my dad. So I told that I don't want to be like my dad. I wanted to be like one of the neighborhood kids. They had a dad that owned a shop, right? He owned a shop and he employed people. So he was with their kids for all their birthdays and anything else that they needed. Whereas my dad, even on New Year's Eve, we never really saw him. He was working. So I that was my starting point. My dad is my rock. He's awesome. I love him. I owe my life to him. But I don't want to be like my dad from that perspective. That's the starting point. And then in 2005, I was sponsored by the US State Department to graduate my high school in California. During that 1 year, I basically broke through all my comfort zones. I anyway lived in a boarding school and so on. But when you are living in a exchange family and so on, you don't really live your own comfort. You live their comfort, whatever they deem so. So I broke through my comfort zone and rediscovered myself, found my interest in finance and so on. And then the following year, I met actually Ken School and the book that I just mentioned, Adventures of Jonathan Gullible, the author. So Ken Schooland basically brainwashed me. That's what I'm just gonna say. In a very good way. I really appreciate him. He's like, I actually call him someone that made me in a way to who I am, unintentional or intentional.
Love that. I feel like what you've been doing is pretty innovative. Where did that come from?
So Polygraph's inception goes down to one personal issue. Like everything I've done in my life, I've always been obsessed with it. Like I don't do things just because I see a dollar value or something. If I'm not obsessed with it, I cannot do it. Because I lose my interest otherwise very, very fast. February 14th, 2021, it's my first winter in Texas, and my car got destroyed in a winter storm here. So, in short, I wrote a review about the dealer who refused to serve it under the factory warranty, and the review platform deleted it, saying that it was a bot content, which I appreciated. Like if it is a bot content, yeah, delete it. But when I asked, like, can you prove it? They could not prove it. So I went on a personal like journey in a way. Me and my now co-founder Vignesh, we wrote the very first bot that detected the bot. Uh, and one day literally woke up that our stupid website was featured on Fox News. They didn't even talk to us. I don't even know like what went wrong or what went right. That opened the whole bunch of opportunities for us. And then after that, we had an investor, Gregory Guggenheim. I met him at Beverly Hills Family Office lunch where I was a speaker. He walks to me and he's like, "Gub, I love what you're doing. I want to be part of it." I'm like, "Who are you?" I didn't know who they were and so on and so forth. In short, like because of them, we ended up basically pursuing on being venture backed and so on as well. That was the starting point. And here is one very important element. It's one thing to do something for fun with your own money, and it's another thing to take an obligation with your investors fund.
Mm-hmm.
When we took that obligation from our investors, we went back and we actually started working backward and trying to understand what is the one big problem that we are going to be fixing. So we went on a rabbit hole of customer interviews. I personally interviewed over 300 CIOs and CTOs. Identified what's the problem that they're facing, why is it that it's a problem, and how is it going to be evolving, and so on. So we joke with our internal team that we have better data than Gartner about the industry that we are operating in. So with that, now we understand what the problem is, who we are supposed to be targeting, and what is the end goal with it. We, instead of saying like, okay, we have one product that's handling everything, especially from the AI perspective, we could have chosen an LLM approach. We said, no, wait a minute. LLMs are prone for hallucination. LLMs are prone for being hacked and data leaks, etc. by themselves. So we looked at a different approach with SLMs. S stands for small language models. So Polygraph ended up building 5 different AI models with 17 different AI agents, handling each one, like specifically handling a risk issue, a privacy issue, fraud issue, document processing, or document reduction activity. And each one of them are like your personal direct advisor. Like it's your privacy lawyer, it's your fraud detector, and that data never being transmitted to us neither. So we never, ever, under no circumstances, even with the consumer product that we have on our website, we do not collect or train or do anything with the data. And that's, again, thanks to our small language model approach that we are utilizing.
So everybody's talking about AI and how it affects their company. What do you know that we should know? What are some things about AI that people are missing, perhaps?
What I know is that 1 out of 14 words that goes to ChatGPT is privileged data that should never go to ChatGPT. What I know is that people, especially high impact people, are getting hacked or getting even kidnapped because they use email summarizers and stuff like that, that data ends up basically leaving. What I also know is that all of these things are eliminatable. Like we can actually stop all of these issues without stopping you from using summarizers, without stopping you from using those chatbots and so on. They're fun. I use it myself. But we can stop your privacy so that if your API gets to be, exposed, they don't know that your flight is landing at Johannesburg airport at 2:40 p.m. This has really happened, by the way. An email summarizer was exposed, and someone went and stayed at the gate with the CEO's name because they basically intercepted the communication, right? And the guy went and sat in their car. So these kind of issues, Polygraph eliminates it.
So I was going to ask you, what are some simple steps that CEOs should take to implement better security? But I think Polygraph is one of them.
Well, let's get Polygraph first, and you're 90% there, and the other 10% is your policies.
Like what?
It's like what kind of cyber policy you follow, what regulation you are under, and how much dedicated is your organization or yourself. Are you a part of it? Because we have all of these things. It's ready. Click, click, click. You're set to go. But we won't do it for you. You still need to have your own organizational policies, cyber policies.
What would you advise early stage CEOs?
Speak with your potential customers as much as you can. Eliminate your conviction. Like your conviction means nothing. Or I 99% of the time you're wrong and you haven't understood what the problem is. So speak with your customers or potential customers, understand the problem. That's the number one recommendation. And don't chase the venture capital money right away.
I'm such a huge proponent, and I love that you said that you did 300 interviews with everybody, because very few people do that, and everybody thinks they know the market. And you don't know until you've asked people the questions.
You can know the market, right? For us, we knew the market that we were coming from. But even then, I wanted to see what my compliance director really thought about it, like the company that I used to work with. I wanted to see what my customer's compliance director at CIO thought of it. One side is that there is always two sides of a coin. So you're either the head or a tail. It always falls on either direction. So you need to understand and be able to bring the both sides so that if it falls on a tail, it doesn't come up as a useless solution. It may still do the same thing, but do they perceive the value? So perception and conception are the two important elements of understanding what you're doing for your customers.
I love that. So you mentioned the chaos of our times. What trends do you see? How can we kind of look a little bit in the future and see what might come of all this?
So our slogan, by the way, is clarity within chaos. And we have an internal joke. It says passwords and encryptions are same as horse carts, obsolete. So we see a future that all encryption will be useless, and the only way to protect your data is actually not to have that data in there, period. So if your data is leaving to a third party, you need to eliminate whatever is valuable for you so that in case that third party is hacked, you're not in danger. And I want to eliminate the word in case and exchange it with the word when that third party get to be hacked. And if anyone comes and says, no, we are all compliant and blah, blah, I want to remind them that the treasury was hacked in 1 day. So if the US treasury can be hacked in 1 day, or whatever encryption that you're utilizing is already dead.
Before I wrap up, is there anything else you wanted to say?
What I've said here is valuable for whomever is listening to this. I am here for them. And cyber world is something that it's not one man or one company thing. It's a collaborative thing. If they are looking for partners, we are here. We are more than happy to talk with them. We are happy to collaborate with them. Although I did mention we are B2P, we have quite a few direct customers right now too. So in some cases, we are working direct as well. And if anyone wants to go ahead and test Polygraph solutions, they can actually use Jason 25, and we'll give a 25% discount for them for our consumer products.
Jason 25, and that's at polygraph.ai, polygraf.ai. How can they get a hold of you or find you if they need to?
So I'm everywhere available under my initial Y and my last name Rahimov. Like LinkedIn is the only social media that I actually follow, and I'm actually very active on it. So LinkedIn would be the best reach out.
LinkedIn. And again, that's polygraph.ai. Yagub, thank you so much for being on Beyond SaaS. For listeners who are leaders in mid-stage tech looking to grow, I do offer a limited number of growth consultations, and you can find me at Tethos, TETHOS.com. And please drop any questions, comments, or feedback below. If you have any questions for future guests, let me know, and we'll share those as well. Until next time, this is Beyond SaaS.